Hello, Sunflowers. How's everybody doing? I know it's been a while. I just had a lot going on. I've been busy. So, the kids are finally back in school. I'm taking a moment to sit down and go over some of the books I read and some ideas that I have. So, one of my ideas, I'm going to start with that, is doing a school reading prompt. I see a lot of these going around Book Talk and BookTube and stuff, so I thought I would do one that sounded fun. Um, I'm going to start it in September and let it go to the end of September. Then I'll go over mine and maybe I can work up to maybe doing a live to go over it. Um, so I thought it'd be fun since everybody, a lot of kids and even adults, going back to college, going back to school. So my prompt is number one, your favorite book in school. It can be elementary, middle school, or high school, or if you want one for all of them, depending how fast you read. My second is book that takes place in a school. Some like Twilight mostly, talks about the high school and it starts off with the high school. So, books like that. Third, book about your favorite subject in school. An example can, like, if it's art, book just talking about art or your favorite artist, or a book that explains, where art came from, just any kind of thing like that. Number four, book about how you saw yourself in school. Like I got a book that's about a person in band, and I did band in school, so I guess it's considered a band geek back when I went to school. Or you can do one about, being the school nerd, shy, cheerleader, jock, or whatever you found yourself. So you can, if you saw yourself in two different groups, you can do two different ones. So, and also if you find a book that fits like all four of these prompts, that's great. You can just read one book, or you can read 4 different books or more depending on what you choose out of the prompts. And so yeah, I'll get to the end of September, and then I'll do a video or maybe even do a live and go over what books I chose, and we can talk about it and see what we all thought about our school days. So, and for my finished books that I did this month, that I had been away for a while, I finished, some of these books I had people pick out for the dollar store, and I'm still doing my dollar store books and reading what they picked for me. So the one that my husband picked up at the dollar store, he's big into political stuff. I'm not. And he watches and listens to podcasts and stuff. He picked this one. Now, this book was hard to get through because it was like right up my eyes. There's a whole thing. His old school and what I think old school are way two different things. And him and the person he wrote this with were raised on like the upper side of town or the richer side. So his old school values and stuff wouldn't really be the same as people who had it, to work for things harder. Like him saying that he did a business when he was younger by doing yard work and painting houses and stuff. But then he talked about how he cut edges to get the job done and covering his tracks when he did something wrong. Now, people, I think, in old school would never do that. They were hard workers. They made sure everything was right, everything done on time. If something went wrong, they fixed their mistakes. They played the person back. but he was talking about how he did a house, paint got on bushes, and he just, middle of the night, went and cut that part of the bushes off so that way they didn't complain. Or if the house painting job wasn't done perfect, he just tried to hide the imperfections. So me, that really isn't old school values at all. And then how he went to school and was into, you know, back then, I guess their social media in school, from, school newspaper and journalism and stuff like that. But he was kind of like, most of the time, handed the job to him. So, and then he said, like, work his way up, but then said how he talked to different people, and then that's how he got into, you know, going to different levels of journalism. So I really didn't see how his old school was really old school. My old school, I think of like my grandma who worked in the fields and with her hands and worked with pride and doing hard stuff for her family, and worked her way up through life, and values of family and um appearances, and actually having work hard and being taking care of things, and the love they've shown in their family and their things that they acquired, their work and stuff like that. And so it was really hard to read because I don't know. And then he name dropped a lot of celebrities and well-known people to say how he thought they were old school. Instead, he didn't talk about like families that actually went through hardships and had old school family values. So I thought, I didn't like that he was using examples of famous people instead of just regular people. So, I mean, if you like him, he does talk about parts of his life. So you could read that. And oh yeah, it's about a lot about snowflakes, comparing old school values and snowflakes. So I didn't enjoy it, but this was the dollar store pick from my husband. So I do read them, even if I don't enjoy them, just to get a wide range of books to read and see what other people, think. So, and then I finish Amal Unbound. That was a really good book. It talks about a girl in a small community, Indian community, who's Muslim, but they don't really talk a lot about religion, just how they're raised. Where if they owed people money, their children were go work for these people who are richer to work back their debts, and how the rich people will then get these children to work for them, house cleaning, tending the yard, stuff like that, but then charge them for living there, so they never really pay off their debts because they're getting charged to live there while working off their debts. So, but it also talks about how older people have been there for years, trying to work off their debts. Then they have no place to call home once they get to the point of actually either they're not found needed anymore, or they did pay off their debts. So, but that's been their home because they've been trying to pay off all this money, and how the rich people there were, how they were destroyed properties and stuff when somebody didn't do what as they wanted, or give them part of their products that they had grown and stuff like that. So it really goes into the community and how the girls were treated and the education that they lacked and weren't allowed to get. But she was taught reading and stuff when she was younger. So it does talk about her reading books and seeing stuff in the papers about the person that she was working with. And then she sees, stuff that happens there, and she ends up helping getting this guy in trouble with the law, which then all the people who were working there were able to leave. But it does go in depth about society and how children and women were treated. So it was a really good book. And then this book, probably going to be unpopular opinion, I finished The Fourth Ring. I thought was really slow and drawn out until the last 90% when a lot of stuff actually happened, and that was entertaining. I was like, okay, yes, it's finally getting to the point where you're understanding where all this training and stuff is coming in. And but then it ends on a cliffhanger. I'm like, okay, only 10% of it was action packed, and then it ends on a cliffhanger. I was like, now do I want to read the second book just to see where it goes with the cliffhanger, or just leave it since the other book was 90% really slow? So I did finish that one, and then I've been reading the Harper Lynn series, the Cape Bay series. I read the first one, which is Cappuccinos, Cupcakes, and Corpse, about an old man who dies in her own neighborhood. She had moved home because her mother had passed away, and she was going to live back at home and take over the family business of a cafe. And one day when she was walking home, she saw an old man on the back porch that had passed away. And then it turned, into being more than just an old man who passed away in the back porch. She, because she knew the guy and his son, she helps investigate the murder, to help figures it out. So, and then it leads into book 2 with Tea, Tiramisu, and Tough Guys. It's about a man who owns a gym that she had went to school with and had a big crush on. Somebody was killed in his parking lot, and then he keeps saying he's innocent, and she tries to help him prove his innocence. And in the first one, she meets the little man's son that she had also known from school, and they kind of have like a friendship, not a relationship yet. And he's also in the second one, and he gets kind of jealous of her working with the gym guy, trying to help him. And then in the third one is Margaritas, Marzipan, and Murder. A lady who owned a souvenir shop that they knew. A person was killed outside her souvenir shop, so they're trying to figure out who did it, and of course why. And again, she's involved in the investigation, and the cop really starts to get irritated that she keeps involving herself, in all the murders and putting herself in danger. But she does also solve that one. And then the fourth one is Lattes, Ladyfingers, and Lies. A ring is stolen from a local jewelry shop, and it starts out in the beginning about a book club that comes into her cafe all the time, and there's two sisters that are not really the friendliest, but they do have a close bond, and it ends up, leading them into ones being her investigating them for, she thinks that, they're involved. But she does figure out, again, the murder, and she has, in the third book, started dating the old guy's son from the first one. I'm sorry, I forget the name. And in the fourth one, they're gonna go to Italy, and she has a time frame. They try to figure out this murder all before she goes to Italy, and she does. So it is just cute little murder mystery series. But she's gonna solve them all. It's just basically telling you how she's gonna solve them. And she has a little dog called Latte, so it's really cute. So I've been enjoying that series, and right now I'm reading the Mind F series. I'm on book 3. I already read book 1 and 2. It is interesting and keeps me reading. So I'm excited to see how it all finishes out, since she's going down her, her list. But I think my problem is with the book is that she has so many on her list that it's taking a while to get through. I think if she had a smaller list, the book would be more fast paced and a little bit more enjoyable, but I'm still really enthralled in it and enjoying it. So yeah, I know there's a lot, but I wanted just to catch you up and go through stuff. And I also been writing. I have like 3 different stories I've started. I kind of have like, I don't know, ADD, ADHD. My mind like goes, I'll be writing, and then like, oh, I got an idea for this story I'm writing. So then I'll stop and do that, and then I'll go back and like to the story that I was writing. Right. Oh, now I have a story for this writing. So I'm working. One is going to be a novel. One's going to be short stories, and like a collection of 3 different short stories. And then the other one is also just a short story. So I have one that's a collection of short stories, short story, and a novel. And like I said, my mind is like always constantly going. As soon as I have an idea, I'm like, okay, I need to put it down here. And then, right. And then, oh, I need to put it down here. And then, right. Oh, okay, well then, this is a great idea. I can frame it to do it here since it's not fitting in my novel. So I guess that's where my daughter gets it from. So I've been working on that. I don't know if you want to see anything of me writing, how I do my ideas, the process of that. I've been writing for years, but usually just for myself or I show my friends and stuff. And but now I told myself one of my goals is to actually start writing books. I want to be an author. It's always been my dream. I want to show my kids that, go for your dreams. Do something that makes you happy and proud. So I'm doing it, finally, at almost 42. 42 in October. So, if you have any questions about the reading prompt, the books I read, or my writing, just leave them down below, and I can make a more in-depth video. Or if you would like I said, I've seen people do writing videos, or it shows them writing, how they take notes. Just let me know, and I hope everybody's doing well. And there's like lots of fires and bad weather going on, so hope everybody's staying safe. And good luck with the new school year. And just take care and stay wild, stay, happy, and do what you enjoy and love. Thanks. Take care of all.